Hey, it's Professor Davis here. Just wanted to give you some tips on getting ready for your midterm exam. The same sort of things that I'm going to talk about here will also apply to study strategies for the final exam too. So let's take a look at the first tip. The first tip is the maybe the most important one. Check out the study guide. Let's take a minute to take a look at the study guide here. And notice here in the first few listed items, I kind of have the particulars on the test as far as the test format, 28 questions, the coverage of it, the first 6 chapters, and so make sure you read over that. And let me get to the bottom here to talk about how we get ready for the test. So there are 28 items on the midterm, and notice I have 28 test topics listed here. Each of these correspond to a topic on the test. So the very first thing you want to do is to, like it says here on the tips, review your completed homework to practice exercises. Let me show you what I mean by that. Here in the study guide, I've listed a section number, the test topic, what you're going to be tested on, and then here are the corresponding homework to practice exercises. Remember I showed you that during our orientation. That is in the course information area, the homework to practice exercises. Now what I've done is I've pulled all the ones out that aren't just the skill builders, but the ones that deal directly with the test topics. So you first, and that will be really, if you've done all this homework, you've kept up on it, it will just be a matter of reviewing to get ready for the midterm. So that's the first thing you want to do. Review those practice exercises. If there's a few you haven't done, make sure you go over them. That's the most critical way to ensure, that's the most important way to ensure you do well on the midterm exam. Do the practice exercises in advance and then review those. Second tip, complete the sample review exercises from the study guide. Let me show you that. In the study guide in the right-hand column, I have some exercises that I pulled out from the chapter reviews at the end of the first 6 chapters. So look over those just for some extra practice, so you can kind of do some refresher problems if need be. Alright, so that would be the next thing to do. First, review those homework to practice exercises that you've completed. Second, do those sample review exercises. Third, print out the formulas and table sheet and get familiar with the contents of it. Now let me show you what I mean by that. In the course information area here, you'll find this link for formulas and tables. That's also in the test prep folder. So make sure you open that up and you'll be given that page that has the formulas for the first 6 chapters, and you'll also be given the standard normal distribution table. So get familiar with those. Make sure you know how to use those. Alright? So that's a PDF file. I'll print that out, get familiar with it. And then finally, complete the sample test without using references. In other words, most students kind of do this backwards. Do the sample test last. Alright? And don't use your notes, and just sit down and work all the way through it. Now let's just kind of take a look at the sample test here real fast. Now, this does not tell you exactly what the test questions are for the test, because sometimes there's more than one thing you might be able to do for each test question. Let me show you what I mean by that. For example, if I look at item number 7, it says interpret a frequency polygon or an ohive or a Pareto chart. So the sample test just has one of those items, so you want to practice all 3 to make sure you are completely ready for the test. So don't start with the sample test. Do that last, and do that without using references, and that is how you can maximize your score. So I just wanted to make sure we go over those tips on getting ready for the exam.